Rajni, what's wrong?
Tom, I have a script and I don't know what to do with it. Should I burn it? Feed it to my cat?
You need some writers group therapy.
Hello and welcome to Writers Group Therapy.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Roshni. We're writers helping writers. Are you ready for your session? The doctors are in. And if you like today's episode, then please show us some love on iTunes and leave a review. Like 5 stars? Yeah, I think 5 stars would be
5 stars is good. That'd be good.
Yeah,
6 stars. 6 stars. Like somehow draw an extra one on.
Bank a star. So we're kind of at the end of submission season, I think, until maybe the fall. But we found an interesting question the other day. How do you write a personal statement?
Yeah, they always ask you that. Like, you have to give one when you do like the fellowship things. And yeah, it's always kind of like, writers are not great about talking about themselves. We're kind of introverted a little bit,
Isn't that weird? Like, we should be able to write a personal statement.
Yeah. And I've had to write some. I haven't done any. I did like one this year, and I had an old personal statement I kind of just retooled. And I mean, I don't think there's any one formula for a personal statement. Obviously, you want to, try to, show your, a little bit of your creativity and your passion and your voice. And you want to make sure if they ask specific questions that you answer them. But sometimes they're a little more generic. They're just like, why do you want to be a writer? What drives you? And so, for me, I just talked about exactly what I went through when I decided to become a writer. What was I doing and how did I come to that, that point in my life? And then, how I, what I did to accomplish what I've done, and then show some of my accomplishments. So it's not a resume, so you don't want to just list out all the things you've done, but
yeah,
it's,
they can already read the resume for that.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like to show, what was the driving force behind my decision to upend my life and move to Los Angeles, and why I love writing. And then, I throw in a couple things about, well, look, it's worked out. I've had some success, so that you get a little bit of, pat yourself on the back. What about you?
Well, I found, because I've submitted to a lot of fellowships this year. Can't say I've gotten them, but I have submitted to them. And a lot of them, when they ask for it, it's kind of a personal essay, and they do give you prompts. So they are usually saying, why do you want to be a writer? Why would you be good for this program? Diversity stories, things like that. And I kind of view it like a cover letter in a way. And so for me, this is going back now to my journalism days. Either you start with a really strong statement, like one of my favorite statements from, this was not my cover letter, it was an example of a food critic, said, I'll eat anything for a good story. That's a great opening line. And then he went on to talk about some of his favorite food critic moments. So for me, I usually start with an anecdote. And that's usually the best way I can grab someone's attention, is a personal anecdote related to maybe a diversity moment, or related to when I decided to switch to writing, things like that. And that's usually how I start off my essay. And then I'll try to tie it back maybe to that anecdote.
I hate the question, what makes you unique? And I just, I always think of myself as kind of a unique person, but what really makes you unique? You can always say, oh, it's your sense of humor. It's where you're from. It's where you grew up.
I'm responsible and resourceful.
Some sort of adversity you came over. I mean, I sometimes I want to get goofy with it. Like, oh, well, I can juggle, or I play trombone. I think you always sometimes talk about how you play dodgeball and stuff like that.
I do.
Because that's something different. Yeah. I guess in those situations you can say whatever you want and be creative. I like to always tell people the weird story of I had a CAT scan when I was in high school because I was in a car accident, and they found a pocket in my brain that's about the size of a nickel to a quarter that's just filled with fluid. So I literally have a hole in my head.
But see, something like that, because you got to think, the people reading these essays and these statements, they've read 50 million of them by this point. These fellowships are nothing new. They've been around for years. So I'm sorry, but if you're like, I'm an Asian woman who had a sex change and I'm now gay, and I started my company when I was 12 and I made $1 million. Like, everybody has that story or whatever, and
everyone has that absolutely exact story.
Yeah, my dad was an alcoholic, my mom beat me, and my aunt raised me. Like, nothing doing. I'm sorry, like, your personal tragedies and you overcame them, and that's wonderful. But yes, they've read these before. So you're not necessarily unique by having that experience, which is sad to say.
Yeah, I wonder why they ask for them. I think the people that have to read them, I don't know if they're like, here we go, I have to read all these personal statements. I think they really would appreciate something, I don't want to say entertaining, but yeah, they want to, something that makes them think or makes them chuckle would be great. Because, it's just imagine reading 1,000 resumes and...
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
and when in doubt, I will say humor is always the way to go, especially if you're a comedy writer. Then that is your moment to show them your dry wit, your sarcastic sense of humor, your naivete and bubbly comedy, whatever your persona is as a writer. That personal statement is probably a great place to show off that.
Okay, I wonder, can you go too far though?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I've never been on the judging side of it, so I don't know.
I wonder if people go dark sometimes, like, get really like, writing saved my life. I was at the end of my rope, and if I don't get this, I don't know what I'll do. One of those stories. I can't imagine reading one like that, but
well, I wouldn't threaten suicide. But if you did have a compelling story where writing saved your life, that would be definitely unique. Maybe other people could say writing saved my life as well, but it's all in how you present it, correct?
I think writing can be very therapeutic too, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Everybody out there, mental illness is a real thing, and please never threaten suicide in your fellowship entry, just saying. But yeah, I think it's a good place to shine because it is a personal essay. And so you can definitely show off your skills as a writer and your voice. That's pretty much probably why they ask for it.
Yeah. Just remember, you're probably submitting some sort of writing resume already, so you don't need to repeat that.
That's actually a big no-no.
They want to get to know you.
Repeating your resume is a no-no for sure.
Yeah. One of the things I learned, having moved out here to Hollywood is, people want to know who you are. They want to know that they're going to be able to work with you. That's a big thing about the fellowship, that you're going to be someone that's going to take this, opportunity and, really take advantage of it and work hard at it. And, you're not making light of it. You can be funny in your statement, but you're not going to make light of the opportunity.
Yeah. And going back to what you said about dropping in little personal things. I know that you're not supposed to disclose a ton of personal facts because that's an employment no. I forget what the word is.
Well,
but but I do
equal opportunity kind of thing.
But it's totally okay to talk about hobbies and passions that you have. I've actually, not related to writing, but I actually went into an audition recently and they were like, tell us something fun about yourself. And I said, oh, I'm in a dodgeball league. I've been playing for 2 years. And it was a man and a woman. And the man turned to the other casting director and he said to her, wow, what have I been doing with my life? He's like, I got to get in on that. It was so funny. He was like, that is amazing. What have I been doing with myself? So people find your quirky hobbies and stuff fun, so if you do underwater basket weaving, put that in your personal statement, please. That's pretty unusual.
Great. So what are some of your experiences in writing personal statements? How have you guys handled it? Go ahead and leave us a note in the comments below, or tweet us at WG Therapy, or come over to our website and leave a note on our website.
And if you like what you hear, subscribe and share it with your friends. See you next week.